allow the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country.
And tonight, it is the latest from Rufai, Kaduna Little Finger, that we are opening the program with tonight. And that is the short clip that made it to the media from his meeting with Atiku. I think Atiku visited him, right? And in their conversation of why Nigerians must come together and end Tinubu in 2027, or else you are going to have your own Paul Biya on your hands. He said a lot in a very short clip, and I think we should just delve into it straight up. But a quick reminder as well, you know, Sundays is our own Sunday sermon, no holds bar. So I don't want to really worry about the number tonight, right? So we might take calls, all right, where you can possibly bear your mind on the topic. Okay. So Rufai and Atiku, they met. As you currently know that they are both working in what they call their coalition ahead of 2027. Among many things that possibly, as openly said by Rufai as his reasons why Tinubu had to go, apart from what people are facing, there are some there are some other underground possibly concerns. Some of them that you possibly would expect them to either make up, exaggerate, or to be factual. So Rufai was saying that the tendencies are there that Tinubu and his gang became politically famous because they pretended to be Democrat, pro-democracy. In fact, they were part of Nadeco, and they are the proponents of true federalism in Nigeria. Everybody should, power should be devolved to the regions. Power should be devolved to the states. The central shouldn't be that powerful. True federalism is not wrong on that one, of course, but they had to use something to have their own meal tickets secured. And they did get that, to get their meal ticket secured. So right now, asking them to do true federalism, which will make the center weak and the regions stronger, would defeat the purpose of why Tinubu and his gang grabbed power. So Rufai is trying to alert everyone that rather than to devolve power and resources to the regions, everything is coming to the center under the control and the fingertip of Tinubu, and they must not let that happen. Because if that should happen, you will be having your own Paul Biya, who is still running to be president of Cameroon at the age of 92. I think he's 92, or he's going to be 92 by the election, right? By the time of the election. Or Rufai, that's what we're going to start from tonight. His statement, like word for word. Please share the broadcast, by the way.
And honestly, Stanley, to me, it's a disgrace for people to behave the way they are behaving. So it means that all the years of saying we are pro-democracy, we are Nadeco, it was all pretense, it was all fake. And all the claims that we are fighting for true federalism and so on, it's all fake again. Yeah, because this government is trying to centralize everything instead of devolving power to the lower levels. But the subtotal of this is that we are facing an evil of such a large proportion in the history of this country that if we don't all come together and end this Tinubu administration by 2027, Tinubu will try to be our Colbia. He will be president for life. All the signs are there. This is how Colbia is. Yes. Yeah. All the signs are there. So we don't have a choice, sir. And you are our leader. You have done this fight. You have fought the military. You have experience in democratic governance. And when you and Obasanjo are in charge of this country, no one has been imprisoned because he has different political views.
Absolutely not.
Never, not once. Even President Buhari, with his military background, never did that. And here we are facing full-fledged civilians. But they are worse than any military regime we've ever had. So your call that we must unite is a timely one. I think the people of Nigeria, sir, have made up their minds that this government must go, APC must be voted out. What the people of Nigeria are looking forward to is us. We must provide the leadership and the unity of purpose that we've talked about. And I'm sure with your leadership, with your forbearance and your diplomatic skills of bringing people together, I'm sure we'll reach the promised land. As for me,
so well, anyway, I know you're not the kind of person who is scared that will not, confront this situation. So the more reason why, we should come together to confront this situation headlong.
Absolutely.
And make sure that one, it doesn't happen anymore during the remaining part of this administration.
Yes.
And secondly, like you said, we send them out by 2027.
Yes.
And not through any other thing else, but through the ballot box.
Yes.
We have had very, very...
So, the points are there. They are moving to do one-party state where Tinubu will be like in control of every resource in the country, with the pretense and the promise that he can handle it better and they will make more money for them. They will get more money. With that promise, right? He becomes so powerful by strategically placing his own, people. When I say people, I'm talking about his co-travelers. So in strategic places that even if he's not in power, right, it will still be in power. So the battle then, as Atiku agreed with him, that we must make sure that that never happens, right? So Atiku, as somebody who fought Obasanjo and he's got credibility for that and every other thing like that, could be the unifier, something like that for them. So what I now sense is this. Remember, this is just me, okay? And I may be wrong, even though I am hardly wrong when it comes to these guys. But at the same time, I could be wrong, okay? So what is that? Their coalition arrangement is being built around Atiku. And that is why it is believed that if Atiku wants to probably remedy whatever is left of his image, right? It would be ideal for him to step down for Peter Obi and back him in such a way that it would just be like an unexpected turn of events. And that would then put all the northern stuff, they will put them behind Obi, the south and the rest, and whatever other arrangement they go into. Because it is like Tinubu that they know, the way it works, and forget about them seeing themselves as like gods that they won't die. That's actually how they see themselves. Okay, so Tinubu, the sickly, demented, partly demented Tinubu, is believed to be nursing the ambition of replicating what he did in Lagos when it comes to the control of Nigeria. And if that should happen, power would have to then shift to from the entire north to Bodilon, where people may grumble, they may do whatever it is, but they won't have access to the kind of resources to challenge him when he is done, and they are afraid of that. When I say resources, I'm talking about supposed Nigeria resources. So, and it's not just your crude oil and all that. So, no, national assets. Important institutions. When you control them and you continue to control them, even when you are not in power, it will render useless whatever control or power or influence that they believe that Northern Nigeria has, like this myth about Northern Nigeria. So this is me again, my own theory. The year 2027 is going to be built around that for the sake of Nigeria, Tinubu must be stopped, or else after 2027, there will be nobody that will be able to challenge anything Tinubu in that contraption, because it will just be like Lagos. Not that they won't try or won't keep trying. So it's going to be like the Nigeria you see right now will be different from the Nigeria they know. So Nigeria you will be seeing then will be different from what you have now. This is the picture they are painting, like, everybody is going to be done for, sort of. And Atiku agreed. And then we have to come together and do something and all that. On the other hand, this one is just like, Jara on the thoughts that runs through the mind, too, right? Is that knowing who El Rufai is, right? A very, very treacherous person, sneaky man. Could he actually be doing the work of Tinubu too? Do you get what I mean now? Like, because, normally, right? You probably would have expected either the police or the DSS or the rest of them to try to have harassed him a little bit, and then just to test the water, despite all he's probably said about Kolu so far. And in fact, what he said about Referendum himself. So could this just be a groundwork to ensure that, it's going to look like they want to challenge a call. By the end of the day, is to keep all of them in that different camps, like just keep them divided, and they can blame themselves after that. And immediately after your 2027 charade, they will reconcile and just laugh at everyone. I don't know. Yeah. But one of them said just a few days ago, his name is Sebuba Galadima. We're talking about what may cause civil war. This is another angle now. What may cause civil war in 2027? War, Bawo. Explain. They said they already have it on a very good authority that although Mamudu Yakubu will be leaving in November, which is just a month and a half away, so to say, right? So he'll be leaving. And they are expecting either for Tinubu to extend to renew his tenure of another 5 years, or bring someone else in. So Buba Galadima and co. said they have received information that Tinubu is plotting to bring back a retired, almost disgraced, retired judge of Court of Appeal. And this person was the same guy. Listen to this. They said this person This judge was the same guy that the DSS raided their houses in Port Harcourt. They found $2 million in his house. True story, by the way. So they found $2 million in his house, and he denied the money, that it wasn't his money. But somehow they were able to get very good out of it. No thanks to Wiriwike. So they gave credit to Wiriwike for that. And it is now being said that in replacement for Yakubu, Liman will be made the INEC chair. Again, speculation. But because they believed that the person who gave them the information, right, is not giving them info. I mean, it's actually a reliable person, right? So that then made them believe that your 2027 charade is it's like a concluded where have you, right? But if that should happen, it will cause civil war. I don't write them down. There are those who said Tinubu is going to have to damn them. Southwest Nigeria has never produced INEC chairman before. So you can appoint somebody from Southwest, heaven will not fall. Or appoint somebody from Yoruba side of Kwara or Kogi, heaven will not fall. And others are saying, no, he should appoint his son. What they're asking for is a free and fair election. I was like, free, fair. No, what you are going to always get is called free and fair election. There's nothing fair or free in what they are going to offer you. I think we've talked about that, right? So one of the reasons why a lot of people believe that APC is was a total mistake and still is, when they were screaming change in 2015, rather than change, they got Calamity Bokuwari, who eventually established the terrorism industry in Nigeria, legalized corruption in Nigeria, and so many others. That's when they said that if you joined APC, your sins will be forgiven. Mind you, the reason why they thought that Nigeria needed help, like Tinubu said, when France had problems, they called on Charles de Gaulle. When America had problems, they called on, who was that? What did they call on? You remember that speech in Abeokuta? So they brought in Bokuwari. Then Bokuwari, who was supposed to protect them as a former general. You all know how this story ended, right? The Boko Haram terrorists, the Fulani terrorists, and all other federally backed terrorists in Nigeria were openly brandishing their weapons, calling, they were being I wanted to say repatriated. They were being rehabilitated, right? Rehabilitation of terrorists. And then you would expect that, oh, maybe that's a good idea if it helped reduce the violence, the terrorism, bring peace and progress back to these communities that have been, ravaged by all kinds of these violence attacks, right? No, it gets worse and worse and worse even till today. They have something called Operation Safe Corridor, which is 100% illegal, right? But it is a lawless place, no thanks to these rogues. But these days, despite the killings non-stop, the kidnappings non-stop, left, right, and center from the north to the south, almost every day, the criminals and government still had the audacity to present to the world, right, them having or organizing a peace meeting with the terrorists. I spoke on that yesterday. I still have more to say on that. So reactions have been following. Like people are beginning to feel like, which can contribute this? Like back then you could say, oh, it's because Bokuwari was, a former terrorist himself, which is true. That's also a fact. Because in Nigeria today, if you by any chance pick up arms, right, and overthrow governments in Nigeria, if you fail, you will be executed, you'll be killed. Yeah, capital punishment. So you will be treated as a terrorist. All right? They'll charge you for treason, terrorism, and all kinds. And you'll be killed if you fail. But not the case of Bokuwari. Is the first terrorist to pick up arms and wage a change of government on his country. Yeah, it was the first, and I think it was the last too. The first and the last criminal to overthrow a democratically elected government in the history of Nigeria. But he got rewarded 30 years later, where he now unleashed the never seen before economic ruin, insecurity, which are now being built on by Tinubu. So we have different guys now who are like celebrities. We have terrorists granting press releases in their, hang on, I think I have some pictures here. Yes, I do. You see, you have terrorists who are now so emboldened, right? This one, they wear Tinubu's cap. People will come for meeting, peace meeting in Nigeria, right? There's another one called Kachala. Do you get me now? That one said in this video, right? It said, it is better for the Nigerian government and the Nigerian army to respect the conditions they've given them. And what are the conditions? That the Nigerian government should leave them to do their business as they feel without attacking their camps. That if Nigerian government believes or Nigerian army thinks that they can kill them, they have no idea what is in stock for them, because if they kill 10, 20 will rise. If they kill 20, 40 will replace them, and they will be more brutal. This is the confidence at which they are talking. There's even a local government vice chairman of a local government area in Dakasina who had to appreciate the love and the care that the terrorists have for them, to have a peace meeting with them, and they will do everything within their power to strengthen the peace they have signed with them. When you ask them, what is the condition? What are the conditions for the peace? We'll come back to that. They call this one Kachala. I think na Kachala. I'll come back and tell you.
In yau za ta kashe mutum 10 gobe sai ta ga 20. In jibi ta kashe 20 gata sai ta ga 30. Ba daji ba karkara ba. To kaga kau a mu talakawa da sauran mu in mun biye ma gwamnati neman kuɗi take tsakani na ga Allah ba wani abu neman kuɗi kawai take ba don in dai don Allah ake da wannan abu bai faru. Kuma mu a garin mu na ƙauye babu ruwanmu da siyasa. In dai zama na tsakani ga Allah aka ce ayi, to ayi na tsakani ga Allah, babu ruwanmu da wannan siyasa, ba mu hana ayi ta ba. Wanda ya shiga ya je yayi siyasa ce ta abin nan. Amma ba a cewa yanzu mu a Hilani ba mu da sauran daraja a rugage kamar yadda shi hakimi ya faɗi, rugagen da ya ce ya sani sama da shekara 30. Tsakanin shi da Allah yanzu cikin sama da 30 nan a je kaddara a samu ruga sama da 40. Yanzu zai je kirga ruga 10 wurin. To adalci aka yi masa, su ba ƴan ƙasa ba ne? Su ba ƴan ƙasa ba ne? Sannan duk da Hausawan da ke nan a koro su mana. Akwai inda ba ƴan ta'adda? Tsakiyar ɗan Musa duk inda kai in katar da gida 4 5 hai katar da na 6 dan ta'adda. Tsakiyar Mataza in katar da gida 4 6 7 sai ta katar da na 8 dan ta'adda. A hada a koro su mana. Amma mu an nuna mana kabilanci komi ba mu sani ba. Ba wannan da za a yadda ta wuce. Kawai in dai abu ya faru a tsaya a ja mai layewa ne aka kaza don Allah kada a ƙara. A yi ma wa'annan mutane faɗa kada su ƙara. Kaddara in yaran mu suka kuskure ya samu suka kama wani suka to da shi daji, a nemi shugabanni, a nemi alfarma a maido shi. Idan bangaren kaddara jami'an tsaro suka kuskure su yaran mu suka kama, a nemi shugabanni a yi haƙuri a bado shi. Ko a ƙaramar hukumar nan hata mu duk zaman da muka waje wata 4 akwai mutanen da muka kai kwamfilit an kama mana. amma har yau ko ɗaya ko da can magana ko gaskiya mu ga kanun mu gaskiya da irin wannan zama a fara shi a ce bayyin karko barin shi yayi alheri kowa ya zanna yanda Allah ya yi ba dai mai iya hana wani abun da Allah ya ba shi ko ba gaskiya ba to ni duk hidiman da za a yi da ni zan iya faɗa ma mutane bakin gaskiya ta gaskiyar lamari mu za mu tsaya mu ga kanun mu gaskiya ku sarakan mu na gargajiya abu ya fi ƙarfin ku yanzu ma kisce yawa a saboda ba ku da fawa a kujerun ku saboda ba a kallon ku da rahama mun san to a tsaya a gaya ma jama'a gaskiya ina mu talaka za mu kare kanmu su dai jami'an tsaron da ake gani suna nan jami'in tsaro dai yana nan yau za a je awo ba abin da zai kara ma in ba bakin ciki ba bai zuwa da ya kwato ma jibi za a koma awo ma bai zuwa ya kwato ma gatan jibi za a koma bai zuwa ya kwato ma kuma bai dauko ya mai doma madadin abin da aka dauka aka ba to amma kuma kuke da matsala tun da kuke kai complaint da abin da aka yi da abin da aka yi ba za ka ji an ce ai wane yayi kaza wane yayi kaza wane yayi kaza su kuma sai a turo su don da sun koma mun ko kurciya ba su kashe a ce an kashe mutum 10 a ɗauki kudin su a ba inda kuka duba nan bindiga ce in ka taho ka kashe dan bindiga ina bindigar ka ɗauke ta ka maida ta man shaida ka kashe to wannan duk makirshi ne inda za mu gama kanmu gaskiya mu gama kanmu gaskiya amma duk zaman da za a yi in dai an san ba za a iya taka ma jami'in tsaro burki to gaskiya ni har in ga zaman nan bai damu ba dama ai hada ake gudu to in ko ba a taka ma abokin hada burki ba me amfanin zama baka yadda da ni ba bai yadda da kai ba ka ganni na ganka har inda karin ka ya kare har inda nawa ya kare to ina za mu kai karshe to don Allah don annabi mu kan mu kiyama dai yawwa sannan kai ma DPO na karamin hukuma dan Musa kafin mu kai ga zama da chairman din mu dama ina da wannan korafi gaskiyar lamari inda wannan abin muna so ya ci mana gaba to duk alhurmar da muka bida a tsaya a yi mana in kuma kuka bida mu tsaya mu yi maku shine daidai ba ku rena mana ba mu rena maku ba shine ku rega mana mu rega maku amma dai ai abun kunya ne a ce mu bidi alhurma ba a yi mana ba abun kunya ne ku bidi alhurma ba a yi maku ba babu wanda bai son dan uwan shi ko ba gaskiya ba saboda ni wannan abu ya bani mamaki tun da ranar da aka yi wannan abu aka yi maganganu ni da kancin kaina na kira babu wanda bai kira ba na faɗa mai tsakanina ga Allah wani don Allah da wannan yaran nan a sake su yaran nan ko a sake su ko ba a sake su ba su hana abun da aka yi niyyar amma in adalci aka tashi aka sake su wanda duk inda kai duk wanda ko baka taba sanin su ba ka taba ganin su ba aka
a terrorist they explain to you so in case if you don't understand everything is said like me, but I can give you the hints of everything he's saying, right? So that you can understand. They call him Kachala Umaru, right? A notorious Fulani terrorist leader. Ordinarily, yeah, these guys can't really afford the kind of weapons that they carry. That's where their sponsors comes in. Initially, they said the reason for this Fulani terrorism was because these guys lost their cows. These ones didn't have any cow anywhere. These were proper Niger Republic, Chad, and all these areas, terrorists from Sahel. Let me give you a close shot of one of them. They are celebrities, though, because they speak Hausa. Do you get me now? So look at them in the local community. See? Imagine this person, right, who was attending the peace talk, right? He's just a villager, I think. But look at the person. Where do you think this particular person is from in Nigeria? People that look like this. Sahelian terrorists and their local collaborators, okay, who have formed different groups armed to the teeth like they are going to war. They are terrorists. They are Fulani terrorists. Openly. Right? putting the, what do you call it? Making the people negotiate for their lives with conditions that are only theirs to dole out and yours to abide by. Yeah. There is a vice chairman of the local government of Faskari local government area in Katsina State who attended a similar meeting, pledging to these terrorists that everything they've discussed here today, everything they've agreed to here today, they will ensure that the government ensure of that and make sure that this peace they signed today. And what is that peace? The part of the peace that they are not telling all of you is that, please, you won't kill us as long as we give you what you want. People are being subjected to paying, I wanted to say alimony, but no. They are being subjected to pay taxes to terrorists before they could they could go on and cultivate their farms, their lands, or go back to their farms and harvest anything. They pay. And to enjoy that, you have to pay them. And the vice chairman of the local government area is very grateful. Mr. Terrorist, God bless you. God will bless you. God has touched your heart. That this peace, we do everything to make sure that it lasts. Thank you so much. Inside Nigeria, is a local government vice chairman.
Su jami'an tsaro musamman na sojoji da suka je suka yi mana abin da ruwan godiya, mun yi Allah wadai mun yi tir da abin da suka yi, mun yi Allah wadai mun yi tir da abin da suka yi, mun yi Allah wadai mun yi tir da abin da suka yi, domin mun dade muna cikin wannan matsale. Mun dade muna a cikin wannan matsala, amma mu ba za mu ce ba mu ga bakin kokarin da suke ba, amma dai ba a yi mana abin da ya kamata ba. Wannan magana ce daga cikin zuciyata nake fidda wannan matsala a matsayin dan garin. Alhamdulillah cikin yan kwanakin nan mutane sun samu kuzari, Hausawa sun shiga cikin taitayin su ma yan uwan namu Fulani ga su nan muna ta ganin su suna ta hawan mashina su suna shigowa garuruwa suna ta mu'amalar sai da aka saba. Muna kira a gare su jami'an tsaro musamman na sojoji da suka je suka yi mana abin da ruwan godiya, mun yi Allah wadai mun yi tir da abin da suka yi, mun yi Allah wadai mun yi tir da abin da suka yi, mun yi wa barakatu. Da farko muna godiya ga Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanda kaddarawar shi ce da yadda shi ya amince har aka samar da wannan sasanci tsakaninmu da waɗannan 'yan uwa namu, domin 'yan uwanmu ne, tare da su muka tashi a wuri ɗaya muka tashi, wani sabani ne ya shiga tsakani, shedan ya shiga tsakani har aka samu wannan matsala. Saboda haka muna godiya ga Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala da ya kawo mana wannan sauki da aka samu. Abu na biyu, muna godiya ga su waɗannan 'yan uwa namu a Fulani karkashin jagorancin shi musamman shi Alhaji Isiya Kwashen Garwa, wanda ya aka dauki alkawari da shi, kuma alhamdulillah cikin 'yan kwanakin da mu mun tabbatar da shi mai alkawari ne, kuma mu mun tabbatar da wannan al'amari da suka zo muka kulla tare da su gaskiya ne. Muna godiya a gare su. Ga bayan Allah nan kamar yadda aka gani, shi da kanshi su 40, wanda shi da kanshi yanzu ya zo ya shiga dajin nan 42 ma ya shiga lungu da sako, duk inda suke shi ya bi su ya je ya tsinto su. Ba naira aka bashi ba, ba bindiga aka nuna mashi ba, ba tsauri aka nuna mashi ba, barazana aka yi mashi ba. Alƙawari ne da ya yi a matsayin shi na almajiri, wanda a jawaban da ya yi a garin Bilbis mun je da yake jawo ayoyi da hadisai na manzon Allah sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam, ya nuna mana cewa lalle shi malami ne, almajiri ne. Saboda haka kira da muke yi a gare jama'a shine musamman jami'an tsaro, wannan kira ne daga karamar hukumar Faskari. A matsayina na mataimakin shugaban karamar hukumar Faskari, muna so mu sani, muna so mu gaya masu cewa manzon Allah sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sallam yayi sulhu da mutanen Makka a lokacin da aka yi sulhu Hudaybiya. Tsare-tsare da dukkan sharuɗan da aka ginda manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam bai karya su ba. Saboda haka ina so mu ga masu cewa mu ma inna aqadna lil qaumi ahadan, mu ma da waɗannan mutanen mun kulla alƙawari, kuma insha Allah ba za mu saba shi ba. Saboda haka muna kira da jami'an tsaro da su fahimci halin da muke ciki, su kalli saukin da aka samu, su kalli inda aka hito, su kalli inda za a je. Mun riga mun kulla alƙawari da waɗannan mutane cewa za mu zauna lafiya tare da su, za mu ba su dama su shigo cikin garuruwanmu a zo a ci gaba da hulɗa yadda aka saba. Sun ba mu dama za mu je gonakinmu, mu je mu shiga garuruwanmu yadda muke so. Saboda haka ba za mu so gaskiya a zo a karya muna alƙawari da muka yi ba. Muna roƙon su da su taimake mu wannan alƙawari ya zo ya dire, domin alama ta nuna cewa mu daga bangaren mu ne za a samu karya alƙawari kenan. in dai har wannan abu aka bashe ta yi a haka to alama ta nuna cewa mu ne muka kala alƙawari. Domin shi alƙawari idan ka riga ka zo ka kulla shi ka zauna da mutum ka ce mun yi alƙawari ni da kai zami kaza ko ba zami kaza ba, to wannan alƙawarin duk ranar da ka ji ba za ka iya ba illa iyaka ka kira wannan abokin naka ka ce to daga yau babu wannan alƙawarin. Amma idan ka je kai wani abu sabanin haka to wallahi ka ci amana, kuma har ga Allah, har wajen Allah subhanahu wataala laifi kai. Saboda haka mun ji daɗin wannan zaman lafiya da aka samu alhamdulillah. Cikin yan kwanakin nan mutane sun samu kuzari, Hausawa sun shiga cikin taitayin su ma yan uwan namu Fulani ga su nan muna ta ganin su suna ta hawan mashinan su suna shigowa garuruwa suna ta mu'amalar su yadda aka saba. Muna kira a gare su jami'an tsaro musamman na sojoji da suka je suka yi mana wannan abin da ruwan godiya, mun yi Allah wadai mun yi tir da abin da suka yi, mun yi Allah wadai mun yi tir da abin da suka yi, mun yi Allah wadai mun yi tir da abin da suka yi. Domin mun dade muna cikin wannan matsale, mun dade muna a cikin wannan matsale, amma mu ba za mu ce ba mu ga bakin kokarin da suka yi ba, amma dai ba a yi mana abin da ya kamata ba. Wannan magana ce daga cikin zuciyata nake fidda wannan magana a matsayin na dan garin Faskari. Ba mu ga abin da suka yi mana ba, ba za mu ce ba su yi komi ba, amma dai ba mu ga kokarin da suka yi mana wanda ya fidda mana ba. Mu Allah subhanahu wataala ya kawo mana sauki, kada wani ya zo ya ruguza mana shi. A bi a hankali, Allah subhanahu wataala ya taimake mu a warware wannan matsala. Wannan shine kira, muna ba ku hakuri bisa ga wannan al'amari, kuma kamar yadda na ga muku wannan rahoto an kan mai girma gwamnati da shi, kuma mai girma gwamnati ya ce ba zai yadda da wannan abu da aka yi muku ba. In Allah ya da za a bi diddikin wannan abu a tabbatar da cewa an yi maganin shi, kuma in Allah ya da ba za mu sake yadda a nan karamar huwa Faskari a kare wannan alƙawari ba. Mun gode muku kwarai da gaske. Allah subhanahu wataala ya taimake mu, ya ƙara tabbatar mana da zaman lafiya a wannan karamar hukuma tamu. Allah subhanahu wataala ya taimake mu, ya tabbatar mana da zaman lafiya a jihar Katsina. Allah subhanahu wataala
Tiagasa, the Tiagasa, he fell, he fainted, he passed out. He passed out. How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you.
You know. Now that is Nigeria. The part where they believe doesn't matter in the scheme of things, because it is like a blight also on them. If you have to show the real victims. Now, you know what some people said, right? This, when people were like, what kind of a country is this? How can this be happening? In all that stuff. In that same breath, there are those who are like, what do you want them to do? The government has abandoned them. There's no point in pretending about it. That if you know the number of communities, thousands of them who are falling under the command of these terrorists across the northern part of Nigeria and even some part of the southern part of Nigeria, you will understand that you hear about the killings, the attacks, almost like days after. And yeah, when the survivors begin to make videos and send evidence of this destruction, that's when you now be asking, what about the soldiers? What about the military? Do you get that now? And that's when you realize that a lot of you, except for those of you who are living in the cities, you have no idea how vulnerable the supposed countrysides are in Nigeria right now. And it's easier to not know, especially these days that some of you prefers to, to fly from one city to the other, while others barely even go anywhere, right? That is when you will understand how vast, right, and unprotected your country's size actually are. And as for the criminal politicians, well, they're just like statistics. So these are people they can do without. These are stories that they will pretend are not happening. But if they are just kind of like happening in isolation, you will say, okay, maybe some people are just exaggerating it. Baba, they are terrorists are hunting Nigerians like game. You know what that is? Game when you go to the bush, the forest, to hunt for games, animals, and all that. And you can just kill anyone you want to kill, like, that's exactly how they are hunting Nigerians. selling them, exchanging them for money. The young ones have been, transferred across, Africa, selling them as slaves. There are those who are running organ trafficking syndicate within this level of insecurity and kidnappings in that place. But the criminal politicians, they love to talk about it. But rather than fix it, they will monetize it. And that is why majority of them who have been in charge of fighting these terrorists in the last 12 years have ended up being multi-billionaires, while thousands of people have lost their lives. But they continue to give themselves pat on the back like they are doing so well. But videos like that tells a different story, or tell different stories. So they now have, people are reacting though. It's just that you probably should be adding it to another reason why your everyday, right, is a chance to possibly do something with others before you become the victim that you are reading about or hearing about yourself. Every day is an opportunity for everyone. The closer you are to the danger, the more alert you should be, rather than live in denial, pretense, and join every other unnecessary distraction, because this is an existential danger, threat, where until it comes close to home, you have no idea how exposed and vulnerable you are when it comes to your own security in Nigeria. So there's a group called the Anti-Cultist group, right? Anti-Cultist group, who released a statement earlier today. And they were, the guy who released the video seems to be like they're pissed how the government is handling this. It shouldn't, that kind of reactions, right? So in the video, this one.
Welcome to another edition of Anti-Cult Lessons in Nigeria. My name is Akin Okunowo. I am popularly known as Aluta. I am the national leader of anti-cult activities in Nigeria and also the general tutor of anti-cult lessons in Nigeria. The title of today's lesson is Stop Peace Deals with Bandits. Ladies and gentlemen, let's call a spade a spade. The Nigerian government at the federal, state and local government levels are expected to be defending Nigerian citizens against criminal invaders and all terrorist groups attacking us in this country. They are supposed to bring the criminals to book and practically demonstrate that Nigerian government has zero tolerance for terrorism. But what is the government doing? The government has been granting terrorists questionable amnesty and freedom under the disguise of calling them repentant bandits. I want to ask, who counseled and certified them as repentant terrorists? We don't understand, and the government is not talking. Let's talk about the funny scenario, for example, where communities are abandoned by the government and they were frustrated to be signing peace deals with terrorists. For the first time in the history of fighting terrorism in Nigeria, it is when the terrorists who signed peace deals with the communities they are attacking now violate the peace accord that we see dramatic reports that says, let me quote, on receiving a distress, security forces were promptly mobilized to the scene. The area was cordoned off, and during the operation, one of the victims was rescued unhurt. What kind of report is that? It can never sound real by any analysis or interpretation, no matter how you want to paint such strange drama in Nigeria. No matter how you want to paint the drama, we are not in China or America that the security system are sophisticated for that matter. It happened on the 16th of September 2025 in Kankara local government area of Katsina State. Notorious bandits blocked Wawankaza Dai Road and abducted some passengers coming from Zaria, going to Dusima. The report claimed that 3 students of the Federal University of Dusima were among the victims. That upon getting a distress call from the area, the Nigerian security forces swing into quick action and cordoned off the entire area. They were able to secure one of the 3 students and still making further efforts to rescue others. The remaining 2 students are females.
Crazy, yeah? So they condemn it. Like, why are you making deals with terrorists? Because the people are still going to be killed. Because terrorists have always come back to say the people violated the agreement. Sometimes they will accuse the communities of being informants for the Nigerian army. So they will just come in, kidnap some of them, women, children, kill the men, and then force them again to either flee or make another fresh deal. Like, there are people who are basically, like, right now existing simply because of the mercy shown to them by terrorists. Nigeria has completely forgotten them. But when election is coming, on the day of election, the terrorists will just take a break. I don't know if you have noticed that. They will just take a break until days after, the news will start all over again. And as for the politicians, like always, they always knew where the terrorists are. And in their conversation of trying to combat it, you'll be hearing kinetic, non-kinetic, kinetic, non-kinetic. The terrorists that are coming for peace are wielding warlike weapons. And these are a bunch of cowards, so because that's the way I see it. If you ask them and say, what exactly are these guys fighting for? What exactly are they fighting for? There must be something, right? Nothing. Nothing that is legit. We have had different speculations, and we have had some fact-backed evidence and the rest of that. But in all of it, it is either, now this is what do you call it? That theory, so to say, right? It is either the criminals in charge of Nigeria or the leadership of the Nigerian military and the rest of them are so incompetent, so corrupt, that the money they are going to make or making is so much important to them than the country that they swore to protect. And what do I mean by that? Even if the criminal politicians have become so compromised enough, you will be the first to know. Those of you who are losing your men being slaughtered by these terrorists, and the politicians are telling you kinetic, non-kinetic, and you know your orders are delayed while your men are facing fire. So if politicians have been using that pattern, and I mean a non-corrupt military officer automatically would not put the lives of his army, of his soldiers on the line for criminal politicians' politics. So that's the idea. If, let's say, if those who are in government, the sponsor of the terrorists, are pulling the string in protecting them. Now, you that is not corrupt as a soldier, right? A general, we never fight war anyway, right? A general, and your men are being slaughtered by these ragtag terrorists. You are seeing videos of them making, you know, and then you do know that the only reason why this is happening is because the politicians didn't want you to do your job. Or you still have to come out and tell everybody that you are doing your best, you are doing your job, when you know you are not. So a real soldier will either resign and tell everybody what's going on, or better still, get rid of the criminals who values God knows what their agendas are than the lives of the people they swore to protect. Because right now, Nigerians' lives are being used for different agendas. The terrorists that you are looking at there, right? they have more immunity or believed to have more immunity than what many of you can even imagine. I mean, who goes to negotiate with Nigerian Army, DSS, NIA, DIA, SMA, SMP, all those funny names, because they have so many security outfits. So many of them you don't even know exist. Now, their job is to prevent crime before they happen and to counter it if it's happening. Abi, all of them will go to a peace meeting with terrorists. They will disarm themselves. I've never seen anything like that in my life before. They have been doing that for years now, in case if you don't know. One of the famous guys who helped them to spread the idea of the Fulani terrorists, they are not terrorists. So Nigeria must listen to them. They must not use force to fight them. His name is Sheikh Osama bin Gumi. Sheikh Osama bin Gumi just posted a picture of his son, who has now graduated from the Nigeria Defense Academy. So right now, this one, okay, is going into the Nigerian Army, or is in Nigerian Army. And you don't probably need me to tell you more. That thing within your mind, use your hand to type them. I'm just giving you the snippets, right? So then the other one is, the second one is, or the criminals in charge of governments in Nigeria, okay, they are intentionally allowing this to happen for only God knows reason. Remember, incompetence, corruption on the part of those who has been sent to the, what do you call it, the meat grinder. Yeah, those who have been sent into the meat grinder. And somehow they have all the data, they have the number, and as soldiers, like, it's either they are incompetent or their corruption is so deep enough that they have been blinded by them, right? That they didn't care that the country they are supposed to protect is completely gone off their grip, courtesy of this corrupt, system. I mean, take a look at them. They came for peace. Children were looking at them, possibly admiring them. They dressed in the military fatigues, military uniforms. You get what I mean? They were there flaunting all these weapons. And you ask yourself, who exactly are they fighting? What are they fighting for? What do you think an ordinary village person must have taken from these guys that they have to bring warlike machine guns like this, okay, to attack them? What do you think? These are the questions. And they call them, bandits. What kind of bandit is that? What do they have to steal? What do you think they want to steal from villagers? Villagers that are using cutlasses and hoes to till the land, cultivate their land in their states, and they are mostly contented, by the way. And then you come into their communities with these guns and you start killing them, abducting them, taking them away, demanding for ransoms from them. So what would they say they are actually asking for, fighting for? For land? Oh, they said, it's because the Fulanis, they were not given schools, they were not given, they said that they are poor and they needed places. I was like, what are you talking about? If you need a place to stay, you either rent it or you buy it. If everybody that is not benefiting from the healthcare, education, and all what have you from government, every part or every tribe or ethnic nationality that is not benefiting, you begin to grab weapons, right? And begin to abduct other people, kill them from far land areas from yours. Do you think you're going to have a country? Now they are using them to to kind of like blackmail the rest of us. Okay, what is the solution? I said, first, tell us what they are fighting for. What exact? That should be what a government should say, right? And say, well, hang on, what do they want? because they have all the weapons of war. The government is thinking that, well, what they need is land. Here, these ones look like people who want farm to you. Do you think these ones are people who are ready to lead any cow in a ranch? Do they look like that? Like, oh, this one, it won't be man where they manage a ranch. Oh. Criminal politicians are using the problem to line their own pockets. Because the land, I was asking if I said, if they start building ranches for these terrorists, are they going to like name the ranches after them, like each leader of the terrorists? Let's assume that they have 100 groups, okay? And they decided to open ranches for them. Is that not what they are proposing? So let's say they decide to open ranches for them. And they give each leader a ranch. And each of them claim to have at least between 300 and 500 fighters. They are like army, like army, look, for real. So they will take these 500, put them on the ranch, or like this is for one fighter, one terror camp. So let's say you have 100 of them. 500 times 100. Wow. It's like 50,000, isn't it? Still not enough those that you can compare with the number of Nigerian army. Yeah. Don't worry. This is me doing my own, when your mind is kind of trying to want to understand something. Okay. Maybe if you relax and try to understand them first, why are they killing people? What exactly are they? Because these are people who have done nothing to them. Historically, we know that, well, they have the jihad, the killings, and the rest of that, right? But the government of Nigeria is not seeing it like that. So how are they seeing it? What exactly are they seeing? I mean, they are government, right? So they should know better. Okay. What could they be seeing? Are they seeing human rights activists in it? Or I don't know what they will call them, but they are calling them bandits. So downplay the severity of their crime. Okay. So bandits. Right. Now, bandits are thieves. Bandits are those that will stop people on the road, steal from them. They don't steal human beings. Bandits don't kidnap. The moment you kidnap anyone, you have become a terrorist. And I think there are laws that also said that. Say, if you kidnap anybody, you have become a terrorist. But bandits are those that rob people, travelers. They steal from them and they do kill too. So if Nigerian government is treating them as ordinary petty thieves, despite all the display of all these weapons in the public glare, you get what I mean now? So, okay, what are you then offering them to stop stealing? And the government said, oh, the reason why you're having, because they still call them farmers others clashes. So the reason why you're having these clashes is because the Fulanis need place to rear their cows. I said, but these ones don't have cows. So are you going to like ask them to give you their guns at least when you build them ranches? It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense then. It doesn't now. And it will never make any sense. But here is the problem. You and I can sit down and be like, why can't they just, look at these guys, why can't they just wipe all of them off and this or that? Then criminal politicians will tell you, oh yeah, but it's not that easy. So what is not that easy? It's not that easy. There are some factors, there are some things that we cannot just do this or that. They will give you reasons and excuses why they can't do it. Or they won't do it. That's why Tinubu went to Makodi, and he told the Yelwata people that there is enough land. Well, do you think these ones want to rear cows? These ones. Do you think these ones want to join you in any ranch? These terrorists? Of course not. You know? Of course not. It is Nigeria. Right. There is even more to that too. Okay. But before we continue, here is one clip. I think they said it is of the returning students of the Federal Government Girls College, Owerri, who were doing clearance. And yeah, the clearance to go back to school. And that became so chaotic when the organizers, of course, Nigeria Factor, couldn't tell the students or their parents what exactly was delaying or causing any form of, delays. Yeah. So somebody made a video today. I'll show you.
Just to clear our daughters to enter the school is a very difficult task. Stampede is imminent here. See what a corrupt management is doing in FGGC Owerri. See how difficult it is. The management of FGGC Owerri is inept and corrupt. Come to our rescue, Federal Ministry of Education. Federal Ministry of Education, come to our rescue. See our students, see our children under the sun. See our children under the sun suffering. The principal of FGGC Owerri should be sacked. This woman is bad. This woman should be sacked. See what students and pupils, returning students, are going through. See what we are going through in FGGC Owerri. This woman should be sacked. This woman, people are losing their phones. FGGC Owerri. This is like Arugo Park. FGGC Owerri. This is a dangerous example. This is how a school should not be managed. No parents or students. No parents and students should suffer this. FGGC Owerri, this is a shame. This is a shame to the Ministry of Education. It is a shame to the federal government. It is a shame to the management of this school. The principal of this school has refused that we have a PTA. There is no PTA leadership because she wants to impose her liking. There is nobody to complain to. See what Federal Government Girls College Owerri are suffering. See what the returning students are suffering. They can't even enter the gate of their school. Students cannot even enter the gate of their school. Come, madam, you lost your phone. Look at the corrupt FGGC management. This woman has just lost her phone. See what is happening. This is how a school should not be managed. FGGC Owerri. This is a shame. Sack the principal of FGGC. Look at this woman. They have stolen her phone. Look at the queue. FGGC Owerri. This is how not to manage a school. This is rubbish. FGGC Owerri, this is rubbish. Sack this principal now. Sack this principal. Sack this principal. She doesn't know her job. A parent has lost her phone. Sack this principal. Sack this principal. This is a shame. FGGC Owerri, this is a shame. See what your students are suffering. See what your returning students are suffering. FGGC Owerri, we cannot take this. We can't take this anymore. It is too much. Look at FGGC Owerri, a very good school, but managed by a very bad principal. Look at the students. Look at what students are suffering just to return and go back to school. Look at what parents and students are seeing. This is poor. Minister of Education, sack this principal. Sack this principal. This principal has refused that we have a PTA that will help the management. FGGC Owerri, this is not it. Look at the students. Look at.
I said, if Ahmed Bola Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
You say?
I say, if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
Thank you.
Because people are already angry that this is the worst government.
We have just started.
We must learn a lesson. This man!
You're going to trust man. Man, Adam.
Ojo Abo, your eyes will see what your mouth cannot talk.
Noise is service. I mean, the noise is kind of like annoying, right? Well, if you have had to take your child for an examination, out of state examination, and maybe also like take them back to school and the resumption days, stress and all of that. If you have experienced that before, that could possibly bring back some memories, right? I don't want to judge the parents who made the video, kept screaming, sack the principal now, sack the principal now. You know, there could be more to that. And eventually, I think they finally got sorted, right? And they expected them to continue that tomorrow. That's right. Then in Kogi, few days ago, it was reported that, the terrorists, they call them gunmen, killed some NSCDC officials, I think along that route as well. And then yesterday, somebody made a video, the Okada riders along the route, where 2 policemen were also shot and killed by the suspected gunmen. Their bodies were left and their uniforms were taken off them. I have managed not to get to the part where they showed their bloody, bullet-riddled bodies, right? So, but the context is what you see on your screen on the way to discovering their bodies.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Wọ́n ti pọlọ́pàá méjì o. Wọ́n ti pọlọ́pàá méjì.
So 2 policemen killed by gunmen. That path. That is not even like Lokoja, Abuja, or something like Major Road, Okene, Lokoja, Abuja Road that you say, or it seems to be like a link road, terrible road, by the way. And they got shot and killed. It is these regular killings and no real respect for the sanctity of life that tells you more about what it feels like to exist in a failed system. Because failed system, sometimes, right, before it comes crashing totally, will first give you symptoms, symptoms of wanton killings, kidnappings, uncontrollable corruption, impunity, nepotism, all the negative things that, like you have all this abuse of power and lack of respect for their own citizens, lack of respect for their own laws, lack of any respect for their own courts. And it is more like, if not worse, than a banana republic. There will be symptoms before everything will come crashing. Unfortunately, a failed system or a failed country doesn't even protect those who seem to be walking to, those who have failed it. You get what I mean? Now, so it's just a matter of time. A matter of time. Let's go a little bit further. This time it is coming from Isaac Fayoshe. He's talking about the attitude of Nigerians themselves, especially poor Nigerians. We know all poor. So he's talking about majority of us. Poor Nigerians who spends their time and uses their already weak energies in defending the rogues that are responsible totally for what is going on, which they are victims of in its usual way. Isaac.
In Nigeria, now the poor, they defend the rich. The poor, they defend the rich where they mess up their system and their country. Wike Pikin gets land for Abuja. Wike, you award land for your Pikin? Yes, now my enemy I go give land. Now my enemy I go give land. We allowed that one. We no talk again. Rolls Royce, your Pikin they enjoy Rolls Royce with you. Yes, now my father was a general manager of different company. Yeah, and they see all these things now. House in Florida, $1 million plus house in Florida for this same Wike Pikin. It be like say Wike Pikin, they even superior past president Pikin. All the former president we don't do for Nigeria. How many of their Pikin get house for Florida, including President Tinubu, as they reach before government? In Pikin no get house for Florida. And even if Sheyi get house for Florida, Sheyi they work. We they see wetin Sheyi they do. Sheyi na him get advert for Lagos, Abuja, everywhere. If they work, we they see where in money they come. But Wike Pikin, then they work to buy that Florida house. Wike na government in day since. Wike wife na government because na George. In a can they say nya 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 nya, and you can't see na poor man Pikin wey in Pikin dey Ekiti lere hero yinka na him can they defend person wey in Pikin dey Florida, and lere Pikin dey Ekiti they carry slate they go school. Lere wife dey Ekiti, then they send her allowance from Abuja, but in boss wey in they defend in Pikin get house for Florida, get big land for Abuja, get for Port Harcourt. You see the irony of life. Now slave they serve in master. This life no balance. So Wike Pikin, America house. Pikin will never work for anything. They don't get mansion, they wait for them. For Abuja here, they don't get land. They ask them, they say no be their enemy, then go give land. If we ask them this Florida own, they will say no be no be their enemy, then go buy house for. Can you see what is going on? I'm not saying the guy is not working. He's working at what cost? Have you ever sat down to check the cost of all these projects? Have you ever sat down? Someone that has never worked before, they said, nah, in-law buy am. What did the in-law they do? The in-law children, we buy the house, no get house for America. the in-law children, we buy the house. Where they claim, say, nah, in buy the house, no get house for America. Who they fool who? And the worst part is that you are defending nonsense where your own Pikin they suffer for Ekiti. Your mumu never do.
This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. Since 1992 when I encountered you, I don't think this is the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. That calls me his friend and I call him my friend, and calls me my son and I call him my father. This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know.
Ekalo boko tubo dugare bebe. Ebikite buayima. Esi pupa.
AC Poopa. Everybody will be all right. I have said it many times on Maiyegun's diary Politico, and I have been burnt for saying that. Because to some, everybody is looking for ways to get access to public fund. And therefore, anyone who is consistently or constantly exposing this level of stealing, greed, is doing so because he wants to get his own share. The moment he gets his own share, he probably won't say it again, and therefore maybe Maiyegun is one too. Then over time, it became obvious that, well, maybe it is either they didn't give this Maiyegun chance to chop, or he is actually who he said he is. Maybe he is real. Then if it is because they didn't give him a chance to join them to chop, that is why he's criticizing them, which is typical of Nigeria, then they are not really surprised. That won't surprise them. But if he says, if it is because he is who he is, who doesn't really care and is just exposing this, right? Then the thing is that who sent him? Like, who sent you? Some have used this back kind of like, factor to come around and say the reason why they won't agree or they don't even want to watch Maiyegun again is because he is insulting their leaders. He has no respect. And you're like, how could you have respect for people who have no respect for you? They don't care about you. It is not what they are saying, it is what they are doing. And it's so obvious that I have to show it to you. I have to show it to so many of you that at some point, these Ronukus especially, they still tell themselves that, well, even at that, you still don't have to call in names. You still have to respect him. I say, are you mad, me? Why would you want somebody to respect somebody who have no respect for you? You don't understand. If Nigeria is poor, and then your leaders are rich, stinkingly rich, isn't it obvious that they are stealing from you to appear rich, buying properties all over the place with stolen money, monies that could send children to school, proper school, create the society where you actually going to have a real job after school. They are not even investing the stolen money in Nigeria. Let me explain that to you. They will steal money. They will build houses, mansions, houses that ordinarily they can't maintain without access to public fund. They will become relics in few years. Houses that are so huge because they are stolen money. They buy themselves latest automobiles that ordinarily they would have to bring all the parts. If anything happened to them, they would need to go back to the countries they got them from and import the parts to fix them, or abandon the car entirely, go and steal another money and buy themselves the latest one. The moment they are out of government, closer to money, this public fund, everything they get becomes so old, so fast. Relics. But in the process of stealing and taking from you, they are denying millions of children access to school. Not just access to schools, but access to good quality education where they hire good teachers. Do you understand? Not just building classrooms, so the one they barely build anyway, but like higher standard good teachers to raise good citizens for them, well-paid teachers, doctors. All these things will serve millions of people than how rich they are. Because they take the money, the ones they are not using to build houses in Nigeria, they go abroad to buy properties in millions of dollars. Houses that they are paying different taxes on. In these countries, houses they barely live. So imagine all your criminal politicians and their properties abroad. They'll be running the lights, running the heating, paying this local tax, that local tax, maintenance. They will be doing all of that all year round. From the money they are stealing from the poor people in the local government area, in the poor Ekiti local government, or Zamfara local government, where people barely have access to common paracetamol when they go to their clinics. But somebody is their governor. He's got property in London. He's got properties in America. He's got one in Dubai. He's got one in Abuja. He's got properties everywhere that he barely leaves. So why would you respect people like that? Why do you have to respect people like that? I do know why though. Because so many of you see yourselves in them. And that is why they say the criminals you saw yesterday and the ones you have today, right? They will always be worse than the ones you are. The ones you have yesterday, the ones you have today will be worse than the yesterday because everybody is learning the level of the looting, becoming expert, right? Compromise the system so bad enough that their loot, their crime can be protected by the courts. It affects everybody. It does. It affects you. I was telling a friend that a few days ago, I was like, these criminals have done so much damages to Nigerians, and therefore they've succeeded in destroying institutions that could have built trust in the people, institutions that people will have trust in. And this is a bit of, how close you can get to having trust in your own country. They've succeeded in turning the place to, like a graveyard where if you have your own opportunity, you better scrap, better take whatever you can take. Go build a different life for yourself out there. With a wiki from local government chairman in Rivers State, Obiakpo local government, to a multi-billionaire today. He has never invented anything. He has never created or provided any service, solved any problem that you can say turned him to multi-billionaire, but public fund. And he is not alone. His wife, she's a judge, of course, and we all know why and how she became a judge. They bought properties, not one, not two, 3 properties in America in the names of their children who have never worked in their lives. These are kids though, but maybe not anymore, and this information is public. The institutions that are supposed to see them before you and I, do you know that some of this corruption thing, we're not really supposed to be seeing them in the media before the concerned institution in Nigeria. But no, you will see it in the media. And you start calling the EFCC, can't you see this? EFCC, do something. They will ignore you like it's nothing because the system protects the criminals. Where the wiki was with Sheung, I was with the Sheung 2 days ago, and similar question was asked him. I think I have his response.
Is it your son that they said that you gave land to?
That I gave
the expanse of land to
2,000 hectares in Asokoro.
Yeah. Is that what happened?
And then what is the square meter of the whole of Asokoro? There's some news here. He said, please, I don't need to cross-check this. You just see them, people try to make all kinds of allegations here and there. Well, when they say that they rush me in an ambulance, I have a heart attack.
But you visited your doctors when you traveled recently?
Which doctor?
Didn't you?
Which doctor? What's the name of the doctor?
Well, you just returned to the country.
Sure. Look, I've never traveled. I have to go and stay on holiday with my wife and my children. For the first time, I went to Dubai with my children, with my wife, beautiful wife in that matter. I traveled with my wife and children to Greece. From Greece, we just down to London, enjoying my life. And because I know there are a lot of work, which I've started today, 2 weeks flagging up and commissioning again. Come on, I need a break.
You didn't go to the house you were said to have bought in the United States. With all the records.
There's no record. It's not. That's why. As a government, when they pay bribe to people like Shore, with all due respect, like Shore, with all due respect, if there's anybody who does not like to travel to America, it's me. Ask anybody. My wife is an American. My children are American. Their parents, my wife are Americans. For Christ's sake, in 2007, this issue came up. That, my wife, as always my business. Let anybody show me where I bought a house, which I can't pass through. If my wife and the parents are saying, look, these are our grandchildren. We give this house to you. My wife, now they are still teenagers. Hold it in trust for them. Let anybody in this world say, the money passed through, I can be, so I can Z. When I was running election, this matter came up.
When my wife was to be confirmed at the court of appeal, so all kinds of things. I saw they say, oh, well, it had been found that Wiki put so they have what how many millions?
That's an awful lot of property there.
Why not ask yourself, can they publish it?
No, it's been published.
It's not published. It's not correct. That's a show where it's not correct. Why they put this, this house?
But is the house not in the name of your wife and children?
What is my business?
You don't know what your wife and children own?
What I'm saying is this: they are all Americans. My wife's parents are Americans. So, if they gave them a house, what's my business? I never bought any house.
Million of dollars worth of property.
You call these millions as if we are talking about thousands, which I can't believe us. Who bought it in their name? You see, it is not in Nigeria here where you can buy something and you can hide it. You cannot buy a house of even $100,000 that the documentation will not show. Let anybody say, this, look at the money passed through just on Wike's account, or it passed through his friend's account. See, let anybody say so. This thing they are talking about from 2008. 2008. They will carry it as if, as I was a governor, as I was a minister. Nothing like that. It's not correct. But that is not my business. If anybody else, bring it up. It's not when I take a decision to do something. If I have to divert attention, you go and say, oh, yes, I will do this. Oh, he gave his son 2,000 hectares of land in Asokoro. I mean, what kind of stories are that? Bring the document.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Because it's not me and you that should investigate him. Did you hear the madman? His children are Americans. Hey, my father-in-law. Man, Nigeria politicians need luck gone. Like they are so lucky. Oh. If you are a Nigerian politician watching me, alaye, any luck gone. I swear. But the day that this whole thing will come to an end, one need confidence, one need, I don't understand. Like Wiki was saying it on TV there, that if my father-in-law says, okay, for my grandchildren, take this, take $2 million house in March 2025. He said it's 2008. Oh God. It's a story. Let them publish it. It's already published. We have all the documents, everything. Yeah. In the name of Evelyn, Evelyn, some Wiki. In the name of his children, 3 children, 2 boys, 1 girl, 3 properties. L'America, your father's father. I mean, sorry, your wife's father, Abba. But you say, but it's not for me. It's okay. It's published. So what are we going to do? What do you think you and I can do? Nothing. And he knows that. He knows there are nothing we can do. Very soon now, everybody will forget about that. And it will be one of those. You know, like did now so he did. That was how you just be compiling it. But the real institution, they should look into it. The ones that are supposed to publish it and say, well, we have this info, we have that info, and the rest of it. Sure, you get his own accountant general of Rivers State, appointed by Wiki, was declared wanted by the EFCC. They nearly grabbed him, right? That Wiki had to make him the governorship candidate of his PDP, his own successor. So for 2 things. 1, he was able to put Fubara inside government house for 14 months, 1 year and 2 months, before the end of his tenure as governor, because they declared him wanted. They believed that with the Wike had immunity, Fubara did not have one. So once they grabbed him, 425 billion naira swapped from the Rivers State government account that they said it couldn't be traced. And with the Wike had immunity. So if they grabbed Fubara, whose signature appeared on the transfer as well, he will confess. They grabbed 2 other people too, by the way. It wasn't just him. It was the principal one before Wike. Fubara had to be living inside government house since 2022 until Wike left on the 29th of May, 2023. And Fubara had immunity covered him. That case that got the EFCC to declare, is somewhere code locked up. So this one is public. This one is like, sure you get. Meanwhile, none of it is ever been probed or what have you. So where the Wike can face any camera anywhere in the world and say, they're just making shit up about me. Oh, that property, well, it's not in my name. It's in my wife's name. It's in my son. So, I mean, I didn't buy it. Go show me the account where I transferred the money myself. He doesn't have to transfer the money himself. Come on, man. But he knows. You get that now, like, as long as he remained in the good book of Tinubu, rather than for him to be prosecuted himself, his wife, his children. This is why some of you are like, sometimes you say, I mean, leave their children out of it. Well, you are daft, you. And I have no apology. Seriously. Their children, they are the same as their parents. Trust me. Those ones who wants to be seen in public and those ones who prefer to just not be seen, they are all the same. And when I say all the same, I mean, they know their parents. They know what they are up to. Most of the monies they are stealing, looting, and putting everywhere, most of these are put in their names, their children. And that's why their children have never been productive by any means to Nigeria. No. They will loot money in Nigeria to send their children abroad for the best education money can buy. And then you would expect that since they are the ones who are very rich and their children schooled abroad, that they would have the best expertise, the best education, the best ideas. And they are also the ones in power who have all the influence to change anything, right? So they can put their children there to come and replicate these beautiful ideas, the educations they have. You see them now, they post the pictures of their children graduating abroad. But have you ever seen any of their children except when they go back to Nigeria and become commissioners, special advisors, so that they continue to leech on the system? They have no value to add, nothing. It is just to leech on the system. Every opportunity they can create is to leech and steal from the system themselves. Not like, oh, this one, so they sent him is a accountant, so this one is a top researcher, and that one is a tech guru. This, and they bring all of them back, fix them in places, and use their influence to make sure that they change the country. No. It's unfortunate. That's the way I see them, though. Right? Like parents, like their children. They live large. They enjoy the money. So there's nothing like, we need to leave their children out of it. If you don't like his father, at least if you don't like his father, let us concentrate on his father. The children have nothing to do with you. Are just a dafty. You have that mindset. It's not hating. It is identifying the real culprits behind every other problem that you probably have to tell us. They're all in on it. Unfortunately. My wife and children are Americans. So, like, we are talking about the properties you got in March 2023. the one you got in September, and the one September 2024, March 2025. These are two properties in Florida. Your wife, how much, like, your wife is a millionaire or a billionaire? Of course, we know why she would be a billionaire. You get what I mean? But like I said, me and you, we don't have the investigation power. The people that should, that possibly could stop a lot of them, are very much in on it as well, unfortunately. Yeah. So again, I said that we could take calls this evening, right? The chance is still open, okay? But I'm going to show you something else. This time, it is Shitty Man. This will be the second time. This one is just an observation, by the way. So this will be the second time that Tinubu would avoid Trump's America. The last time was last year when the United Nations General Assembly meeting, I think. Yeah. So it's then Shitty Man at the last minute. Charade said that Wiki was even planning to go for a follow-up medical check, believing that Tinubu will be going for this particular one. Then last minute, he also boycotted and they had to send a Shitty Man. So there are speculations, and there will always be though, right? Some said that Tinubu is doing everything to avoid Trump's America, not when Trump is there. And maybe that would make some sense. I don't know. America is still America. It's been protected. So I just probably is trying to avoid any Trump's embarrassment or something. And it is United Nations, right? Even Russia, they go United Nations whenever they wanted to. So Kalu said that Shitty Man should do it. And this was him on his way. Yeah, that was him. So very soon you are likely going to see, the little rocket man of Maiduguri or Maiduguri Elon Musk delivering a speech on behalf of Tinubu inside the United Nations General Assembly in the coming days. The first time Kalu went to Onga, it was in 2023, few months after he grabbed power. And it was a disaster. Apart from the fact that they spent over $450,000 on drugs, booze, and women of easy virtue. You know what I mean, right? So that became public and they were like, I don't know if they were embarrassed. And since then, he's been avoiding America. So he prefers to go to places like St. Lucia, Brazil, Cartagena, few other places like that. Kolu El Rufai. El Rufai once said, this was during the time of Ambode, and El Rufai was like, he knows how to defeat godfathers. I'm replaying this now as a close to what we used in opening, when he said, all of you must come together and stop Tinubu from becoming your own Pobia, or else he's going to be president for life. He once said this too about Kolu without mentioning his name.
I don't know if he's the godfather of Lagos. It's up to you to say that. What I know for sure is that we have retired godfathers in Kaduna. And I have told those that asked me the question that there are 6 million registered voters in Lagos and only 1 million voted in the last election. So there are 5 million people that you can bring into the electoral playground, and you can defeat anyone if you work hard. But it's hard work. It's 4 years. That's what I said. Now, if anyone feels offended by that, that's his business or her business.
So you want Lagos to follow your template for retirement of government?
I have no recommendations to Lagos. Okay, I am the governor of Kaduna State. I know Kaduna politics pretty well, and I play my role in my party towards the overall success of the party. I have no recommendations for anyone. I'm just saying that if I'm asked a question and I give an answer, anyone that feels offended by the answer, this is all business. I have no apologies. I don't apologize for my views. My views are thought out and I put them there, and I don't have to explain anything to anyone. This is a democracy. In a democratic space, there must be room for people to express their views. You can disagree, you can abuse me if you don't like my views, but that's it.
So El Rufai, right? And he also said, this one is very recent, when trailer passed their midst, he spoke about Yorubas as Omoluabis, and the difference between Yoruba Omoluabis and an area boy.
But there is a difference even in Yoruba land between an Omoluabi, okay, who is the ideal Yoruba person with morals and character, and an area boy. Okay, so I want people to stop saying it's Southwest. Look, President Tinubu is appointing his own boys, not because they are Yoruba, but because they are his own boys. And most of the appointments do not even reasonably cover the Southwest. Okay, so people should stop confusing the two. The appointments are not balanced. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
We are a poor nation. The ban coal will follow. They say firewood, not smoke. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, shine it, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. Do it. A dead fish cannot be sweet in any soup. They are dead.
Tinubu 2023. Just put it like that, that quote. Call the quote of dead fish.
A dead fish cannot be sweet in any soup. They are dead.
She gets here. All of you that are eating dead fish, you don't know what you are missing. Because they cannot be sweet. Dead fish cannot be sweet, but live fish. About with any call you know. Anyway, so I'm gonna take a break, right? And then I'm gonna take calls. Also, right, I have created my GoFundMe on the side to possibly raise funds to support my budget deficit on the platform itself before I start cutting down the quality. Unfortunately, majority of the subscribers, the Templars, don't even receive notifications, sadly. But for those who do receive, and those of you who are here, there is a link in that comment. I'm going to put it on the screen at a point, see if I can raise some money, and see if you can be of help. So I'll take a break, stretch my legs, come back and take calls. And if you want to be part of this, you actually better dial the number on the screen, right? And get yourself ready. And if calls are not forthcoming, we can call it a night early, right? But don't go anywhere. Give me 2 minutes. Sorry, I don't have my small camera anymore. That's even part of the reason why, you know, I am going to need your support, okay? If I have 800 or 1,000 people watching, if half of you decided to just say, you know what, I'm going to give him $1, I'm going to give him £1, I could easily just get, you know, some money there, right? So I've got this, my smaller, can you even say it, right? Yeah, it dropped. See it now. It's just there now for like a decoration anyway. So it fell and it's been acting funny. So I had to just put it aside. So I'm left with the bigger one. So yeah, there is a link. I'm going to put the link on the screen. And I'm also probably going to raise it live here. See if I can get that going. So I have a caller too. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Baba.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening from here.
Very good evening to you too, Baba.
How are you doing and your family?
Well, we are surviving. I'm still here. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. My name is John Eze, calling from Boston, United States.
That is John Eze from Boston. Welcome back. It's been a while, Baba.
It has been a while, Baba. I bless you. Let me do as usual. May Chukwu bless you. May Chukwu keep you and protect you. May Chukwu bless you and give you more wisdom to move forward. In the name of Chukwu we pray. You say, I will make it fast. Day before yesterday, when you was in your program, you bring out you when they call it bandit, it touched me. Person with the key person, adult person, talk say made the people made the family members bring money, made they release them. It never be a bandit, it's a terrorist organization.
That's right.
But I don't know why Nigeria and the chief of army staff, they call them bandits.
I mean, it is to downplay it so that, you know, it won't be like they have to deal with them with strong hands. Do you get that now? By making it look like what they are doing is they're just some ragtag criminals. But if you treat them as terrorists and the locals, you know, it's not good. So they are just being nice to terrorists, the government.
Okay. I they blame our people waiting for diaspora, including me, including you, teacher. Why do I say that? For this thing where they happen, we have not been able to identify, let the whole world know that these people are terrorists. We are covering them. You and I are covering them. Why do I say that? Now, this guy come out on public. He has a public communication with some
addressing press.
Okay, but it's public though. Is it not public, Baba? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you. Can you?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you too. I said, is it not public?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Okay. Now, nobody can be able to show you how chief of army staff, how useless that man is. That man is a useless man. In family, no go see better for life. No go see good. He watch that program, that guy now wear camouflage, wearing cap with all his group. A military, Nigerian military, what did they do? They can't do nothing about it.
No.
But Mazi Nnamudu Kukal was held and keep torturing on daily basis. Nobody can be able to stand up and talk.
No.
What crime did that man commit? No crime. He just preach what is going on in Nigeria. Stop what is going on in Nigeria.
Sir.
They spend huge amount of money to bring that man from Kenya.
Exactly.
Nigeria. Mind you,
they broke a lot of international laws.
Mind you, now someone arrived. These two people never kill anybody. Will tell you say these people kill people. Now lie in the lie. If that person bring evidence from Owerri, Imo State, Umuahia, Aba, Enugu, Ebonyi, Abakaliki, if any of them can be able to stand up and say this guy come out to kill people where in the protest, bring them out. Anything concerning anything to Biafra, I will remove my hand. Two, propaganda. No evidence. The President Tinubu, I will call him as a president. Right. Either he entered there with propaganda, he's a president. You can't remove that from the history. He brings a huge amount of money. He sent Musa and their informant. They went over to sell land and held that man. But remember today, is 21 I can't remember today's date.
Are you still talking to us here, or you are talking to somebody else in the room?
No, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Sorry, it's like a noise because today is
like you're having a distraction as well. Like, maybe
no.
TV is on. Right.
No, I am not having a distraction. It's like a noise coming from outside because today is all those rally from Puerto Rican Day. It's a Puerto Rican Day here in the United States. So it's loudly all over the state. So that is why you see some motorcycles.
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
But quickly round it up now because of our time. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they cannot be able to come outside and say this is what this man did. This is what this man did. It is their propaganda. That is why I keep saying that Nigeria can never work. Nigeria can never work till they come out and say enough is enough for this Chaligans. May Chukwu Kagame bless you. That is all I have to say.
Thank you very much, dear John Eze. The line was a little bit dodgy at some point, but sorry. There's another caller. We just lost the person. So if you want to be part of this as well, the number is right here on the screen. Use it. Okay. Here. I think just Adeza. Hello. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Are you?
Oh, very well. I'm still here.
All right. Thank you for your consistency.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's start from the wiki issue. Understand? You see, when criminals are in government and the same criminals are making laws, so expect to hold the criminals because they only have their way out of it. Let's look at the issue of the property he acquired in Abuja for his family and the current one in America now. Since when the issue was brought to the public, did you see EFCC, ICPC did anything on it?
Never.
Because all of them, they are friends.
That's why I said that you and I are seeing all these things, okay? And the reason why they become really useless information is because the responsible institution that are supposed to actually really investigate and come out to tell us that it's a lie or it is true, they won't even touch it. And we all know why. Adeza.
All these guys, they are friends. In the night, whole meeting together. They eat together, they drink together, they attend function together. They are friends. Since the creation of EFCC by I think it's Obasanjo then.
Obasanjo, yes.
The institution was created to fail. You know, when you look at since the creation of that EFCC and ICPC, the two agencies, they have not been working to fulfill the purpose and objective of which has been set up.
No.
During Obasanjo's term, it was also used against opposition parties.
That's right.
No, it was not as bad as now. Yep. No, that's the gospel truth. Yeah. Though it was not as bad as it was now, but the same thing. And because the whoever is the chairman is appointed by the president, not the National Assembly, they only dance to the president.
Yes. They just vote.
You remember,
and then
you remember that this Rivaldo that is now NSA to the president, during his regime, he said that the corruption of Tinubu is multi-dimensional. People added it.
He did.
Understand? If you go back to the papers, during his time, he said his own corruption is multi-dimensional.
Today is
president of corruption. You understand? Like now, the issue of when you look at what happened in Rivers, okay, two people are quarreling. Understand? Two people and Wike is having an issue because he's using Wike to achieve all the evil that he's doing. He sided Wike and now use the axe against Fubara. To the point that even Wike will be telling you what will happen in Yorubas state.
Yes.
And whatever I tell you it will happen is what will happen. He was saying it last week that if they intended to extend the what they call it, the emergency, they could have done it.
State of emergency.
You understand? So he is part of the people who is taking decision, who is one of the accused persons was part of the person taking decision of what happened in River State.
Yep.
You understand? It is the system. If you remember, the former, I think Hillary Clinton, the former US president, he said when he went to one of these African countries, he had friends. He said as long as the institutions in Africa are weak and individuals are stronger than the institutions, that Africa will continue to roll like a baba steer. Because the institution who's supposed to stand and defend the constitution of the country, the men in question are stronger. They dictate what happened. Yes. Why those institutions are not meeting their objective? Because if they are fulfilling the objective, these evil men, they will not be able to carry the answer because now they make it so weak.
Yeah.
They make it so weak.
Africans are more interested in building powerful men than powerful institutions.
Yeah.
So and it's crazy.
My friend, so because you know that this country me and you we live now, everybody's afraid of the law. Either you are a prime minister, you are an immigrant, whatever wherever you are. In fact, to the point that when you look at generally, for you to join the UK is like a miracle. Because you know when you breach the law, the ass will fall on you. In fact, as a layman, before you know, your name will appear in a blacklist. You cannot achieve anything again. But yes, you see people they recruit.
Right? In this part of the world, as corrupt as so many of them are, there is one thing, one rule of the game that they never forget, right? It is not to be caught. Because the moment they are caught, even they themselves will know that it's career, everything is over. They will now be trying to fight not to go to jail. Do you understand? And that's why you see majority of them as corrupt as they can be, right? There are some level of corruption that they don't put their hands in. They know this is a career killing corruption. Yeah. You know what I mean now?
Yeah.
But
okay, let me give you an example. I think last week or sometimes ago, America, they sacked one of their top officials because they say he was involved in a particular issue. Understand? I've forgotten that very case. But recently in UK here, you know, there's a particular chief strategy officer to the PM that was just removed from office last week. I don't know if you follow the issue because they say it's a pedophile. Yeah. It's a pedophile.
Yeah.
And this guy came out while he has not known the detail of the man. He said that the risk is worth choosing him. And now the parliament are on his leg, which may lead him to a very tight position. Understand? When you come to public policy, understand, they hold it at a higher estate than any other individual issue. You understand? But in Nigeria, when anything happens, and to make the matter worse, the citizens, what's supposed to trigger citizens to fight and break everything down? Everybody will go back to the house. They will be on TikTok. They will be on different mode of social media making noise. And I keep on reminding them that Martin Luther King Jr. said that no matter voluntarily allow the slaves to go. And the slave demand for it. All these things that the wicked is doing, remove police from wicked cannot do anything.
Okay, of course now.
Remove the government and powerful committee, they won't do anything.
There will be nothing.
Understand? How many of these people that they are very few, they are not up to 1% of Nigeria that are making everybody to be crying every day. But the same people, they cannot come back in unison and say enough is enough. Rather, even some religious leader, you supposed to stand, they will not stand. The religion they're supposed to stand. I was hearing about this man, Adeboye. I don't know if that one have a dementia. I don't know now. Who was saying last week that the youth should find solution to their problem. They should stop criticizing the government. What kind of human being is that? If any member of his trust member commit crime, won't you discipline that person? You understand? So these are kind of leaders who produce and educating themselves. They already give up. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I bet a lot of you have so much to say this time. But let's
sometimes because of work.
I know.
Yeah, thank you.
At least we've not taken calls in a while too, but it's good to hear from you. Okay. So that's our days, ladies and gentlemen. So fair enough. I got my first donation this evening. Let me put that up. Yeah, I got my first donation, and thank you very much to that person. If you want to be part of it, the link is in the comments. Let's see how much of pennies and pounds I could put this evening. So I have another caller, I think. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me? No, that's another problem. You can get connected and surprisingly your call can get pinged, but
hello?
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Maiyegun.
Good evening, Baba. Or good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, well, I don't have much to say. What I just want to say is about these politicians. They have been very, very disastrous. So they are not anywhere to go. Like as you say, it's just a matter of time. Everything will crash out, and once it crash out, that's it. Because there's no way they can make that money. Because people who have never make money in their life, like because they grab the opportunity of this public fund, start embezzling, looting it. So anything that somebody doesn't suffer, so once it's crashed, they'll go back to square. They'll go back to their poverty because they are poor. Because this is looted money. Looted money with empty, without they are empty.
Nothing.
Upon all that money, they are still empty.
They have no idea
No.
to create wealth. That's one part.
No.
When they see resources, they are interested in selling them. They're not interested in creating wealth because they have no idea.
No.
They are only interested in dealing for themselves.
Yes. So there's nothing for them. We're just waiting that time, and it must surely come. So that's my own contribution this evening.
Bless you, Baba. People need to understand that there are some things that are not sustainable. Whether you want it or not, it's like a train wreck, right? If they continue the way they are going, it is going to be a total disaster. When? I don't know. Hello there. Is that Charade? Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Okay. Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Charm.
How is
It's been a long time. Last time I saw you, I was probably a teenager.
Very funny.
I know. It's been like forever. That's the point. How have you been?
I'm fine. I should ask you, how are you? Because I don't understand what's going on with your platform, to be honest. I don't.
It's a battle. I know.
I have to ask you, are you being banned or what's happening?
Well, I don't even know how to explain it, right? So they have what they call this algorithm jargons, right? That automatically just make recommendations of platforms. Naturally they will say when you join Facebook or when you join YouTube, you subscribe, and the moment you subscribe, you automatically a receiver of constant notifications from that platform you subscribe to, like normally, naturally. So that's a straightforward thing. Okay, as long as if you don't want to receive notification from Maiyegun again, you know what to do. Unsubscribe. That's it. So how do you then need an algorithm to tell your own subscribers that you are live, other than the same process of notification? So that's where the whole thing got mixed up that way. So I was told that I wasn't the only person. A lot of people are suffering the same thing this time, right? So usually, right, it will be like that for half of the year, and the rest of the year they will just allow everybody to see it. Simple as that. But this time around, they've held it far too long that it's becoming like a real problem now.
It almost intentional, right? With the way
there
they
is also that conspiracy there, where you can easily say this is not normal. Like, it's not like the quality of the production or the conversation is probably different. You say, oh, that's why. But yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Technology. They control it, fortunately.
Anyway, I always try and come back to your videos when I don't get like notifications or anything.
Imagine having 108,000. Even when I had just about 5,000, I could easily pull like 2,000 people watching on YouTube. I don't know if you remember that early days. Yeah.
I remember at the height of the election, right?
Yeah,
you were like
easily pull all of that off us. Yeah, the content is very much sought after, right? Then you have like 100,000, and only maybe just 500 will receive notifications that you are going live. Others will just have to look for you. Now, is that bad, Charm, that you may even come and search for Maiyegun, and you won't even see me that it's coming live, like it used to be, that easily you get notification, then you wait. So what we are doing is just keep doing what I do, right? Because I mean, how long I can keep the head above the water? Let's see how long.
No, we're gonna support you. We're gonna support you because the work you do, and I think your platform allows you, especially this side of the platform, allows people to share their own like thoughts and opinions and all of that. Okay, so I'm taking off. So I'm going to be real quick.
I'll give you that. I mean, you just made me. It's like it's like you calling me and say, Maiyegun, I want to talk to you. I'm concerned. Like, what's going on? Like, not doing it this way. That's what you just did. Checking on me and see, like, what's going on? And there are so many people who wanted to ask that. You have no idea. So you just made it easier for me to answer people who are thinking what you're thinking. So now we can now take your own other contribution.
So, I mean, like I said, I'm consistently, watching your platform, what you're putting out there, and, the news and everything. And I don't think anything has changed, right? We still have the same crop of criminals, right? They're now being emboldened to even come out and lie blatant in our faces. Look at Wike telling us that his in-laws are the ones who purchased the $2 million Florida mansion for children, and his wife is an American. His children are Americans, and guess what?
Are you not an American, Charm?
And sorry?
I said, are you not an American? How easy it is to get given or gifted $1 million house? Because you are an American. You can tell me, please. How easy
First of all,
to get gifted $1 million house in America? How easy?
I reside in America, but my passport is British. I'm here as a British, passport.
Okay. I'm British, so maybe I'll keep that question for somebody else. But you tell me, say what you want to say, please.
But I do own property here, right? And I know that it wasn't easy to even get on the ladder because when we moved here, right, we needed to build credit. It needed to be something that we spent almost like a year and a half building credit and being able to then apply for a mortgage and all of that business before even being able to afford to, to go and look at the property. So it was like a year and a half. It's not easy. It's not a walk in the park. You can just don't show up and decide.
You could just say, oh, Charm, you just came to the US. You know what? You want to stay? I'll just give you my $1 million house. If you and your family will love it. Because that's what Wike is trying to say. The person who gave the person who supposedly gave his children these houses, that will not get house. So.
No, the man is a liar, and he knows that he's dealing with a public that are not going to do anything about it, so he can come out and lie. And that's what I'm trying to make, that they're just taking the piss at this point in time, and Nigerians are just sitting down, folding their arms and doing nothing. And another thing I just wanted to point out was El Rufai, a lot of these people are all, as far as I'm concerned, they're all being paid, even paid opposition. They're not real oppositions to Tinubu. Because a real opposition to Tinubu would not be saying to people who are suffering right now under this very failed government, under this government that is taxing its own people to death and having nothing to show for it. A real opposition will not be telling Nigerians to wait till 2027 to get this man out of office. As far as I'm concerned, people like El Rufai telling Nigerians that they should wait till 2027 in order to put out Tinubu, they are paid opposition, because that will not be the message. They should be telling people, get out there, get rid of these criminals so that we can so-called build a nation. Because right now, Nigeria is not a nation. It doesn't even have laws that anybody can follow. We're just existing, just there, like that. Right?
Waiting for what will happen tomorrow. There's no real concrete plans towards that tomorrow. Everybody's just hoping that something happens and change,
In the aftermath of Indonesia, and I don't know if you're watching the news right now, Philippines is also they're currently protesting anti-corruption, and it is getting bloody out there, right? So for me, I find the messages of people like El Rufai and co, right, very strange, and which is why I will tell you that they are paid opposition. Why I find that strange? They're not telling Nigerians that's the control position. They're not telling Nigerians to go out there and fight for your rights, whatever we call our rights in Nigeria, because Nigeria is a country right now, right? But whatever we deem that we should be right, we should be ours, is what they should be telling people to go and fight, but they're not doing that. They're telling you to wait to 2020. How many people are going to survive the next 2 years, for goodness sake, under this situation? How many people are going to be able to see the light of day for 2027 to be something that they would want you have a beaten down, broken people before 2027 who would then not have the ability to do anything, right? People that are waiting out there for what people going to the president. If you want to chase Tinubu out, you have to do it yesterday, not even today. And if you're looking for your terrorists and your corrupt people, Tinubu's government has made it easy. Everybody knows who the criminals are because now they are masked down. They're out there. They put themselves out there.
It is like, it's like they are also afraid. Some would say maybe it is too early or not, right? It's like they are also afraid, in order not to be charged for treason or something. They are afraid to lead the millions of Nigerians they expect to possibly join them in removing Tinubu in 2020. They are afraid to lead them on what could have been nationwide, sort of like a warning protest or so. Millions out on the street to demand for some certain things should be done before any election is even conducted. But again, everybody is just talking heads right now, waiting for 2027
exactly.
charm.
Maiyegun, if we are afraid to put ourselves out there, right, then we're not ready. Indonesia that went out, I hope it was, sorry, Nepal, I keep calling it in Indonesia. Nepalese that went there, some of them died, right? I'm not saying it's easy. Do you understand? At the end of the day, after all, I'm all the way in America. Nobody I know is going to be out there. So I think, because there are people out there that I still care about, who I worry about on a daily basis. But the point I'm trying to make is that if we're worried that something is going to happen to us, right? Isn't something happening to you already? Are you living the so-called best life that you think you should live? Is your government providing security for you? No. Now we're negotiating with terrorists. Meanwhile, Nnamdi Kanu is in prison there, right?
And they are telling you that, from his prison, he is responsible for the insecurity in eastern Nigeria, despite militarizing the region. They are still telling you and giving you reasons why, you need to hate him. And they are also bringing the terrorists with war machines, war weapons for peace deal, right before our very eyes. Abi?
And meanwhile, you have the people, all these various factions and different, what they call it, different terrorist groups that you have in the north, up at public. Well, that place is not right. You haven't sent the military there to go and wipe out those criminals and everything, so that people can actually have their land, farm their land, and live their life peacefully. But then you negotiate with them. They still keep on doing what they're doing, terrorizing the people. Then you have you still got, in the same vein, lock up Nnamdi Kanu. How many years now? I'm really fearful for that man's health. I'm really, really fearful. For 4 years now, we've locked him up. Anyway, so I'm going to other people want to call him, but the point I'm trying to make is that, listen, we don't have anybody that is fighting for the country. Somebody mentioned that Deboye. When has any Christian leader, Muslim, or anything told the people that the right thing to do, that they should fight for their rights? Please, let's leave these people alone. They know the reason why they're doing what they do. They too are also paid operatives, as far as I'm concerned. Then people like Rufai are deceiving themselves. Those ones that control the opposition. They don't want Nigerians to go out there, right?
That they keep go out there, charm. They may lose the control, and they want to be in control. Do you understand? And they want to use them. Probably the only thing they want to use them for, right, is when they feel like Tinubu is rigging, and they want to force his hands, right? And the only thing is going to be their own gain. So if they lead Nigerians to the streets now, and they lose the control, and the Nigerians begin to chase not just Tinubu now, all of them. So who's going to now take over the country? So that's why most of them will pretend that for the sake of national this or that, security, they can't do that for now. And you know Tinubu is a dictator. They will give you different reasons, excuses, why they can't do it now. But wait.
But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that if they still need the same experience to be the bodies on the front at the end of the day, the people that you're fighting for are not fighting for you. Rufai and Co are not to save that contract. They're still fighting so that they can do what Tinubu is doing. They're not there to change anything. They're still there to manipulate that whole situation. Now, if that is what we're saying that we don't want corruption anymore, we want a government that is accountable, and we want to be able to have a referendum as to whether or not we want to remain these three or multiple nations together in one contraction called Nigeria. We need to chase people like El-Rufai away. Whether we like it or not, who we lead. We will look for who will lead us. But we ourselves as Africans, we ourselves as Nigerians, we have to be honest to ourselves. We have to say to ourselves that enough of corruption, enough of illegal wealth, enough of stealing, enough of evil, for goodness sake. If we don't say that to ourselves on the personal level, right, then we don't have any hope in hell or in heaven or wherever that we're moving forward. It has to start from us, and we don't need to be waiting for the
Charm. Tell them you cannot cherry pick when you want something different. That means whatever it is you have right now must be rejected, and that means you must mean it before you can laterally get something different or new, Abi. And you cannot cherry pick these bad people. This one, is bad, but you know what? At least let's manage the bad. No, it won't work, would it?
It cannot work, and we have to be sincere to ourselves that if we want to move forward as people and as a nation, to reject evil in every facet. If you know a brother or a sister who is doing the wrong thing, you have to be totally against it, because you have seen what it can bear. It births corruption. Corruption births poverty. Our girls are being trafficked up and down there. Yes. Our boys are being trafficked as well. They are criminals up and down. The educational system is zero, where you have a country of people who can do well, who can excel, for goodness sake. We have to start rejecting the personal level, and we have to start thinking about, before 2027, what do we need to do? Because 2027, if we wait, Tinubu will be your president again.
I've missed you. Thank you very much. You enjoy the rest. You have a great week too. Have a wonderful week, ma'am.
Thanks.
Right? Yes. Yeah. So that's some hearty contribution there from Charm. I got my second donations, and that is coming from my man. Totu. Bless you. See, maybe I should have started earlier, right? Because our time is now rounding up, and we're coming to the end of the entire conversation. And gradually, we're going to probably keep the phone calls in now without worrying about without worrying about the number, since YouTube is being deliberate, and indeed we also have to, make use of the window that they still allow us to have chats. Okay, until maybe when we get something different. Now, thank you very much to all of you that called in. Okay, I intend to see you again tomorrow. I always intend to see you every day as usual, right? Then we'll see, probably we'll have our brunch time too. So thank you so much. One of the easy comeback that I have been told for everybody to begin to get their notifications back is that please like the broadcast. Okay, it's just one simple thing you can do. If I have 1,000 of us right now, out of that 1,000, we have like, let's say 600 of us that genuinely like the broadcast, right? So slowly and surely, steadily, we're gonna come back to that space, and you won't even have to search for Maiyegun again. You'll get your notification as at when due. Thanks for your time, and good night from here. I'll see you again.